Good evening everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Mawahib. So in today's video I'm actually super excited to be coming to you with a part 2 of testing the A05 Superior Coconut Soy, but this time around it's going to be with essential oils. You guys know how much I love working with essential oils, but I've never actually got into so much details about working with essential oils, so this is what we're going to do in today's video. Let me just explain how this video is going to run. In the middle of this video I am going to be doing a voiceover. At the end of it I'm going to come back on here and then we're going to go into more details of how I measure my essential oils and why I measure them in the way that I do in the clip that you're going to see in a short while. With that being said, please make sure that you click on that subscribe button down below, give this video a huge thumbs up, comment down below on what videos you'd like to see from me in the future, and don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you guys can get notified every time I post. So with that being said, let's just get straight into it. I've already gone ahead and measured 145 grams of A05 Superior Coconut Soy, and right now I'm going to go ahead and pop it into my double boiler, wait for it to melt. And while I'm waiting, I've decided to show you the little measuring beaker that I use when I measure my essential oils in milliliters, and don't worry, I will explain more thoroughly about the milliliter side at the end of the video, so make sure that you stay until the end. I'm going to measure from my base note and working towards my top note. So over here I am measuring 3 milliliters of patchouli. I've decided to measure my essential oils a bit later just so I can focus on my wax melting. So right now that's completely melted, I'm going to go ahead, take it off the stove and wait for it to cool down to 45 degrees. The reason why I am going to pour my essential oils at 45 degrees is because if I was to pour my essential oils at a hotter temperature, then all my fragrance will actually burn off. So 45 degrees would be perfect. Right now I've gone ahead with my middle note, which is the rose geranium, and I'm going to measure 2 ml of that. The last essential oil that I have right here is bergamot, which is a top note. So I'm going to go ahead and measure 2 milliliters of that. So in total I have 7 milliliters, which is 5% fragrance load for my 145 grams of wax. And I've gone ahead and give that a really good mix just to make sure that all the fragrances are mixed very well together. And I just want to show you up close how gorgeous the amber color is with all the essential oils mixed together. Here's the information of the candle that I'm going to be doing today, and instead of putting fragrance load of 5% I put 7 ml, so I do apologize about that, that was my mistake, but it's 5% fragrance load. And over here I'm just going to show you my wax at 47 degrees. It's still pretty liquidy, none of it is cooling down around the jar, which is really good. And right now I'm going to go ahead and pour my fragrance oil at 45 degrees and give that a very good mix for 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes should do fine. If you want to do 3 minutes, then go ahead and do that. It depends on you guys' preference. And I'm gonna go ahead and give that a good mix and then pour that straight into my candle container. And honestly guys, the smell is so good. And don't worry about the information that I showed you earlier. I am going to speak about everything in detail at the end of the video, so make sure that you stay until the end. And over here I am pouring my candle. This is literally my favorite part. Alright, so in this candle I worked in milliliters, but I want to show you guys an alternative in working with grams, so you guys can choose what one that you prefer the most, either working in milliliters or grams. So the essential oils that I'm going to be using here is from a candle supplier, Candle Shack, and I'll link the essential oil in the description down below. I've already measured 145 grams of S100, and that is a gram scale that I am going to be using for my essential oil today. And the reason why is because 5% of 145 grams is 7.25 grams. So the gram scale that you see right there will give me the 7.25 grams of essential oils. This is the essential oil that I'm using. You can use up to 8% as Candle Shack recommends, but I started with 5% because I don't feel like I need 8% of essential oils. It smells pretty strong. Here's the detail of the second candle, and don't worry, I'll go through everything in detail at the end of this video, and I literally cannot wait for you guys to see the results. And this is me pouring my candle. So are you guys ready to see the results in the next clip coming up right now? Alright guys, I am back. I hope you guys enjoyed the little clip of me doing my essential oil candles. Right now, let me get into the details of my candle. So the first candle that I'm going to be showing you right now is a candle that I made with my own blend of essential oils. So I used an amber glass for it. I actually don't know the proper sizing for this for the amber glasses because I bought them in a candle kit about a year ago. So I'm not too sure about the sizing for it, but I do know that it fits 145 grams because I worked with it before in the candle workshop that I went to. This is how I got the amber glasses. The fragrance load for this candle is 5%. The wick series that I used is CL6. The wax that I used is A05, and I poured it at 45 degrees. I'm gonna get into the details on why I measured in milliliters instead of grams, but first let me just give this candle a sniff so I can rate the cold throw right here in front of you guys. Oh guys, that candle smells amazing. The cold throat is a 10 out of 10. I love it. You can smell the patchouli, I can smell the rose geranium. I can't smell the bergamot that much. I would love to get a bit more bergamot in there, but the rose geranium and the patchouli are doing amazing. I love the smell. I can't actually wait to burn it. Let me actually show you the results up front. So this is the results of the candle. Look at this fluffy top. Guys, look at that top. Look how gorgeous that top is. So the second candle that I have is right here. I obviously did 2 candles so I can give you options on what you guys prefer the most, either working in milliliters or grams, whatever is easier for you guys. The second candle that I made is with another wax, which is the S100. The reason why I actually used S100 because the last time I did essential oils with the S100, I poured the essential oils at a very hot temperature at 55 degrees that burn off all my fragrance. So this time around I actually poured it at 45 degrees, and guys, the smell is amazing. It smells delicious. Like, it's another 10 out of 10 cold throat. It smells amazing, and another candle that I cannot wait to burn. And let me show you the top. And this is the top for it. Look how gorgeous that top is, guys. It's another beautiful top that I got. The fragrance load is 5%, and the wick series that I used is a Stabilo. Is it Stabilo or Stabilo? I think it's Stabilo. I'm saying it weirdly, but anyway, you guys know what I mean. It's the wick series, it's Stabilo 6. The wax that I used is S100, and I poured it at 45 degrees. I actually got so many different wicks recently. I've been wanting to test different wicks other than the TCR and the Eco, and I'm so happy that I did that. So I got 2 different wicks instead of my TCR and the Eco wicks. I can't wait to test them out and see how they do on both of the waxes. Let me now explain to you why I actually measure in milliliters and why I didn't measure in grams, teaspoons, or in drops. I've seen a lot of blogs out there that actually recommend you measuring essential oils using drops or teaspoons, and it's not the most effective way in my opinion. The reason why is when you measure in drops, it's most likely not enough for the amount of wax that you are using, and you might not actually get the amount of drops inside your candle. And what I mean by that, for example, if you need 50 drops of essential oils in your 145 grams of wax, it's very, very hard to keep up with the amount of drops that's going into your candle. So that is the reason why I would recommend to stay away from measuring in drops. I've also seen teaspoons quite a bit on blogs, and I don't think it's an effective way to do that, nor is it accurate as well. And especially if you're trying to figure out what's 5% of 145 grams in teaspoons, how confusing is that? It's so confusing, and stay away from that. I do not recommend measuring in teaspoons either. And finally, the last reason is why did I not measure in grams? Guys, if you was to try measure essential oils in grams, it will take you forever. I have tried it, believe me, it takes forever. Like, I tried to do an essential oil in grams just, you know, to experiment and see actually how long it takes. Guys, it took me like 20, 30, 40 drops to get to 1 gram. Imagine how many bottles of essential oils you will go through if you want like 20 grams or 40 grams or 50. It will take forever. So that's why the most accurate and effective way to measure essential oils is by milliliters. I literally learned that in my candle workshop, and I've been using milliliters with my essential oils ever since my candle making journey began. Literally, I found it the most effective and accurate way possible. Of course, that decision will go back to you. If you guys want to use drops or teaspoons, that's of course up to you. Personally, I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend using milliliters if you are using the same bottles that I do, the ones that come down in drops. So now I want to get into the details of why I use ratios when I was measuring my essential oils. So I hope I don't get too confusing, but if you get confused, then please pop your question in the comment section down below and I'll make it clear for you. So in total, I have 7 ml of essential oils in this candle, and I use 3 different types of essential oils. I use bergamot, rose geranium, and patchouli. Let me show you guys because it's easier to show you. So this is the slip that I showed you in my previous clip. So I used 3, so what I mean by ratio 3 to 2 to 2, and that equals to 7 ml. So it'd be 3 ml of patchouli, 2 ml of rose geranium, and 2 ml of bergamot. So as you guys can see here, I have B, M, and C, and that stands for base, middle, top. Did I make that clear? So the reason why I split it in ratios is because I want to measure how much of each essential oil I want to measure. So for example, you don't have to use the same ratios that I use. You can actually change it up to whatever your personal preference is. For example, if you like more rose geranium, then you can do 4 ml of rose geranium and 2 ml of patchouli and 1 ml of bergamot. It's up to you in terms of the ratio numbers, but don't let the ratio part confuse you. The reason why I do that is because I obviously measured 3 essential oils, a total of 7 ml, and I need to make sure I measure them correctly, and that's the beakers that I use. I'll pop a link in the description down below if you guys are interested to pick that up if you want to create your own blend of essential oils. Alternatively, I showed you a second candle just in case you guys do not want to create your own blend of essential oils and you do not want to measure in milliliters. Then I showed you another way of measuring in grams. Nearly impossible to measure in grams for when creating your own essential oils, especially in bottles that come in drop form. It's pretty straightforward to measure in grams when you're dealing with essential oils that come in liquid form, just like so. I know you can't see the liquid that much, but it comes in liquids, so you don't have to worry about measuring in milliliters. Now, I got a decimal point when I worked with 145 grams of wax to 5% of fragrance load. The measuring scale that I showed you in my clip, I'm gonna pop it in the description down below. It's a 0.01 gram measuring scale. This is how you get the decimal numbers. So if you guys wanna work with essential oils that is liquid form, pop that measuring scale in the description down below. And if you guys wanna work with the essential oils in milliliters form, then I'll also pop the measuring beakers in the description down below as well. That way you have 2 alternatives and you guys can choose which one's easier for you. Which brings me over to the next point of CLP labeling. If you are creating your own blend of essential oils, be mindful that you have to pay for a brand new CLP labeling, an SDS sheet, and all the legal documents that goes along with having your own blend of essential oils or fragrance oils. You are of course more than welcome to mix your fragrance oils and your essential oils. However, if you do want to sell it, you have to pay for a brand new CLP label, and you also have to have an SDS sheet that is appropriate for your blend of essential oils or fragrance oils. I would just want to make sure I make that part very clear. You cannot sell your candles, your own blend of fragrance oils and essential oils, if you do not have the appropriate CLP labeling. For example, if you guys want to use just one essential oil from Candle Shack, that will have its appropriate SDS sheet, CLP labeling, and all the legal documents that goes for that essential oil, you can. But as soon as you start mixing another essential oil with it, then you're gonna have to pay for a brand new CLP labeling, SDS sheet, and all the legal documents that goes with the blend that you essentially made at home. Another thing that I want to mention actually is I do not use essential oils from Candle Supplies. I actually bought the essential oils from Candle Shack. For this video, I just want to show you an alternative to actually what I use. The essential oils that I actually use are from 2 favorite essential oil companies in the UK. It's the White Trade Essential Oils and the Naissance, and this company, I don't know how to say it, but it's like Naissance or something like that. I'm not even going to attempt to say it. These are the essential oils that I use, and I do create my own blends. I'm obviously not selling, but as soon as I do want to sell my own blend of essential oils, I do need to have the appropriate legal documents for my own blend and CLP labeling to be on my candle jar. You don't have to use all 3 notes in your essential oil candle. You can stick to only your top note or middle note or base note and middle note. You don't have to have all 3 notes in your essential oil candle. That is just a preference of mine. I like doing it, but there's also some candles that I make that I only stick to the base note and middle note, just like rose geranium and patchouli. I hope I've made everything clear. Literally, I love blending my own fragrance oils and essential oils. I just find so much joy in creating my own fragrance. I love creating my own fragrance, something that's not created in the market. It's just my creativity is inside that candle, and I love that. And I know it costs a bit more money. Eventually when I start selling it, it's gonna cost me a bit more money. When I'm selling a unique candle with my unique blends, it's just special. It just means something to me. I enjoy it so much when I mix essential oils and fragrance oil, and I love testing the creativity of my nose, what I like, what I don't like, what would work better with certain notes and what doesn't. I just love working with different essential oils and fragrance oils. I hope I've made everything clear so far. To conclude, if you do own essential oil candles that come down on drops, then the best way to do that is to measure in milliliters. Do not measure in teaspoons and do not measure in drops. That is not what I recommend, but I'll leave that decision up to you. Another point that I want to bring up is do not exceed fragrance load with essential oils. Stick between 5 to 7%. I wouldn't even go up to 8. You can go up to 8 if you want to, but I would stick between the 5 to 7% mark, because believe me guys, when you burn essential oil candles, it fills up the room. Another point that I want to bring up before I close out today's video is you can measure your essential oils in grams if you pick them up from candle supplies like Candle Shack, Supplies for Candles, Cosy Owl. You can measure it in grams. So the best candle container to actually use for essential oils to preserve all the quality and all the goodness of the essential oils is using either an amber glass or a dark colored container. With that being said guys, if you have any questions or you feel confused in any part of the video, please pop them in the comment section down below and I'm always more than happy to help. I'm gonna go ahead and end today's video right here and say please click on that subscribe button down below, give this video a huge thumbs up, comment down below on what videos you'd like to see from me in the future, and don't forget to turn your post notifications on so you guys can get notified every time I post. I completely forgot actually, before I completely let you go, the third part of this video is actually coming. You guys requested, I got a lot of requests to actually do a burn test for the A05 Superior Coconut Soy, so that is going to be my next video, so stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.